Hey guys, it's Sky bringing another video. Hope all of you have been good with your families during the holidays. I've been good myself. There's been a lot going on, but it has been positive. So, things have changed in my life for the better, and I'm grateful for that. There was a period of time where, all the challenges I've been through, I felt like a victim, and it made it really hard because it just led me down a dark path, and I didn't see hope in the future of finding happiness. The last week or so I've been struggling a lot, though. I will say that. I've been going through a lot of pain. I have a wisdom tooth that for the last few years or so it's been slowly growing in and bothering me, but I've been procrastinating, putting it off, and like not feeling like I can get through it and not deal with it right now. And then it just got to a point. What happens is like every so often it'll start pushing through a little further and it will cause me pain for a few days. But this time it's been different. And I'm mad at myself because I've been putting it off. Now it's to the point where I have an earache on my right side. I have a sore throat. I have headaches, and my gums are like swollen right there. So I'm really frustrated with myself, but I've been miserable. For the most part, I stream almost every day. Once in a while I'll take breaks if depending on if, I need a rest or if there's things going on and I just need a mental break. But man, I haven't been consistent over the last week, which is frustrating because I've been doing so good with streaming, just like mentality wise and just happiness wise of connecting to people. So it's frustrating because it's like, man, I worked my butt off to get to where I am and I just haven't been consistently there for people, which sucks because, I've been getting, a lot of people have been subbing lately, so I haven't been there for them and that frustrates me. That's important that I show my support back to them and be there for them, So, I'm mad at myself. I finally got called my dentist up and told them about it and want to get it taken care of. So, but unfortunately, they don't have an appointment available to me until January 14th, so I kind of have to wait, which sucks. Hopefully, like before the previous times where I've had issues with this, it won't stay consistent. Hopefully, it will become, it will kind of go away again. I don't know. This time's a little different. I've never had this many issues before. Like my gums would be sore for like a couple days, and then it'd go away because my mouth gets used to it. But now it's like, man, this really hurts, and it's really bothering me. So it's frustrating. Being in discomfort makes it hard to mentally put myself in that place to stream because at times I need to take breaks and just lay down. And it's hard to just stream because you don't want to sit there and stream and then take a few seconds and go lay down like when people are trying to watch. So it's just like I've been putting it off to the side and hopefully I get it taken care of. Luckily for me, I have Oragel, which helps a lot because it kind of numbs it. That stuff works so good. So since last April, I made so many different changes to my life, which has really helped me, change my mindset of the things that I can do in this world and accomplish. I've gone through so many different struggles. Things that I tried depression medication, which is something I told myself I would never do. I started that a few years ago after I talked to my friend and, she went through an incident with her child. Her child had cancer and, she was going through a really difficult time and she actually, tried stuff and it helped her out a lot. She just actually recently went off of it. So I was like, I'll give it a try because I really trust her. I've always been kind of scared about that because, medication can lead to more depression, thoughts that you didn't have before. And I didn't want to go down that path. So I kind of just fought through it. But it's like, man, I really need help at this time. I was really struggling with confidence and stuff. And I was, bad anxiety and just, I didn't know how to consistently get rid of the depression. I didn't know how to find that happiness. And so, I went along with it. And, it's hard because you can't really tell. At least I couldn't. I felt like it was helping, but it's hard to go back and think about the times that you weren't taking it to see if it was the same as it was, what was happening now. And, I took it for a couple years and I stopped taking it, I would say probably around March, February of last year. And I started it actually really helped me when I got off of it. And everyone's different. So, this is just for me. This helped me. For me, it was more about not taking that, but just changing my mindset on everything that was happening around me, like how I approach things. It's easy to get frustrating when things happen. Like, let's just say, like, something small, like you're in the kitchen and something spills, and things keep happening throughout the day that are frustrating you, that you're like, man, I can't catch a break. And then you get that mentality of like, man, nothing goes right for me. And then it just leads you down to that more negative path. But now it's like, all right, you know what, just clean it up and get through it. It happens. Things happen. You just got to have a positive mindset with the things that come up in your life. And that's kind of how I've really go at things now. And it's really helped me consistently change that whole cycle of depression that I struggled with. Honestly, when I think about it, like when I'm talking with you guys now, like when I think about depression over the last few months, there's only a handful of times. And that's crazy to me because that's never happened. Going back to when I was a kid, I never knew how to figure things out. So this whole last year has been a crazy, unique experience for me because it really opened up my mind to realizing that I can change things. And a lot of it comes from mental fortitude of just knowing that you can change things for yourself. One thing that I think we all get lost in is we're trying to find happiness instead of creating it. And I, fell into the cycle. I was lazy. I didn't realize you can create it. And when you create that happiness, it lasts for a long time. It lasts as long as you keep improving yourself as a person and keep challenging yourself. You become lost when you're, just trying to search for it, because you're not going to always find it. It might fall into place sometimes, good things might happen, but if you don't consistently fight for that happiness, it's never going to stay there. And that's what's really helped me. And I think another part that has helped me change my mentality is opening up more to people. I've always been very stubborn with that and prideful, and that comes from when I was a kid and I didn't really have anybody to talk to. And everything that I went through, all the challenging things that I went through as a kid, as a teenager and all that, I had nobody. I had nobody to talk to. The few friends I had, they're always kind of, I would say, popular in a sense. And I guess I was scared to share my emotions with them because then I would lose out on their friendship. So I just kind of kept it all to myself. And I didn't have anybody even in my personal, like my family, to talk to, because no one was really like that. No one really shared their emotions. No, I didn't really have anybody that would come to me and ask me how I'm doing. So I didn't really, I didn't have anybody where I can filter my emotions to learn more about myself and learn how to deal with those challenges in my life. It makes it difficult. And then you develop this mentality that you don't need anybody because you've already gone through so much yourself, but that just leads you to a dark road where you end up at a dead end alone with no one around. And I was always stubborn, so it made it hard to adjust that. But I just got to a point in my life where I was like, I'm so tired of feeling like this. Being prideful doesn't do anything good for you. Honestly, it just leads to negativity. So I started slowly opening myself up to people. I'm still scared because I don't, I already deal with, very difficult emotions as it is. But if I add another element into place where I'm connecting with somebody and I feel like I'm not good enough for them, that that can hurt me and bring me down, and I'll like push myself away from that. That's another reason why I don't really look for relationships, because life's already difficult as it is, and then you put yourself out there to connect with somebody and they can hurt you. So it's like, I just kind of pushed myself away from everybody and started doing things on my own, and you fall into the cycle of feeling like you don't need anybody, but it doesn't do anything good for you. So I started, luckily, streaming and YouTube. That's what's changed my life, because finally, for the first time in my life, people finally reach out and ask me things. They ask me how I'm doing. They ask me like what's going on, and I never had that. So it changed my mentality towards the world and how I see people. I always had a negative view. I always thought people were just bad and negative, and everybody was hateful. And then I started seeing a different side with people compassionate, towards others, where they cared for, what you're going through. And that's really what made me learn that family's not always everything. And there's people out there that are friends that are there for you more than anybody. And so it really changed the way I seen the world. And then I had so many people that I started reaching out to. And I learned a lot about myself because, I was naive. I played the victim. I played like, woe is me. Everything happens to me and it's not fair. No one knows what it's like to go through this. We all have challenging things that we go through in this world. It's not easy. And that's something that I learned. And that's why I like getting to know people, why I like connecting now. Even though I'm an introvert in my personal life, it's interesting learning about people because then you know why people treat you a certain way or why people are closed off, and then you learn stuff about yourself because you're able to connect yourself with them and why you do the same things. So anybody out there that's struggling with being an introvert or just closed off, it is important to have people to connect with because you can't view the outside world looking in on who you are. Because there's times where I've made so many mistakes and I couldn't I didn't know what I was doing wrong. And then when you have somebody you can talk to, they can help you with that because they see a different side of things. Constructive criticism is important. It's important that you learn to take it the right way, which is something I've struggled with, because I've dealt with so many emotions. So you get to this point where you're just tired of people like piling on. But it's important. It's important to see the things that you're messing up with and realize we all have flaws. That's something that's extremely important because, with social media and everything, we see all these people that they seem like they have perfect lives, but it's fake. Everyone struggles. So sometimes, these influencers and people out there that portray this perfect life, they're not helping anybody because then people feel like they're broken because they don't feel the same way as these people. So it's not real. The world is so complex with everything we deal with, all the variables that come into place. And it's not easy. We all have different journeys that lead us down to a path that, makes it hard to find happiness. But when you have people that you can socialize with and learn things about to connect with in this world, you don't feel alone anymore. And you realize that, everyone struggles. Everyone makes mistakes. We're all human. So, and that's why it's so important that I like to share this with you guys, because I don't want people to go through what I went through. I wish I could have learned these things a lot sooner in my life because I would have, I would have went through less struggles and heartbreaks in this world. And that's what I want for other people. I want other people to realize that, they have the ability to change their lives by just having a positive mindset for the things that fall into their life with challenges and struggles. Those things that happen to you actually can help you become a better and stronger person. And it can teach you to be more compassionate to others because you realize that everyone struggles. This world's difficult. And a lot of people have hate because they don't know what it's like to be loved. And they're jealous because they see other people happy, so they try to tear them down. Just know that anybody out there that's being negative to you is already beneath you. And don't take that dark light from them and bring it into your life. Don't let it weigh you down. It's hard. No matter how strong you are as a person, if people keep being negative to you, it brings you down. It drags you down. And it can make it hard to find happiness. That's why it's so important to surround yourself around positive people who have ambitions towards life that want to do things. And I learned that. And it's like, all right, now I want to be around people that are motivated, that want to make a change in their life, that want to strive for the things that are similar to the things I want. Most of my life, people always look down on me in a sense of not believing anything that I do, that I can accomplish things in this world, like good things, like the things that I enjoy to do. Everyone has always said, you're not going to accomplish that. And taking on that mentality, is not going to do anything good for you. A lot of people tell you can't do something because they're scared if you achieve that, it's going to hurt them because they feel like they couldn't do what you did. So they try to bring you down. You have to look past that. I've always been the type of person that cares about what other people think. So it's made it hard. And a lot of that is because of the type of person I am. Like, I care about other people and their feelings. So I always try to make everyone like me. And it leads to nowhere. the truth is, no matter what you do in this world, no matter how good of a person you are, there's always going to be people that try to look for flaws within you. Whether it's because they're jealous of you, or whether they don't like your personality, or they don't like the things you do, they're always going to try to break you down. And you have to just push past that. So, being the type of person I am, I've had to make these crazy changes. Is there times that I still, revert back to the things I, used to be like? Of course. But the thing now, the reason why I'm able to get through it quicker now and go back and fix it is because everything I've gone through, I realize and know now how I can get through that. Because I've been through it already. That's why each struggle you go through is so important for your future, because the things that come up down the road, you think about the past, about how you approached it before and how you're able to get through it. And so there's so many valuable lessons that you can learn through the struggles that you have. That's why, at times I felt like a victim, but also now I feel like I was rewarded in a way. I've been through so much in my life. People have always told me who I'm not. But that now has made me a more compassionate person and stronger to deal with future situations. So I'm grateful now. Is it hard? Yeah. And when you're going through it, it's not that simple to see. Before I used to push everything off to the side because I didn't want to deal with it because I was scared what it would do to me. So I just kind of pushed it away and just ignored it. But it doesn't do anything for you because you don't learn from anything. So, just believe in your ability of changing your life. I've been able to do that. If you guys ever have any questions, I'm not some expert when it comes to dealing with situations, but, in a sense, I'm an expert when it comes to the things I've gone through because I know what it's like to change my emotions. Everyone's different. That's why social media is such a big thing that can help other people. I mean, it could be very negative too, especially in the way the world is right now, but it also can help people that have similar struggles. And having a platform like YouTube, you have the ability to watch people without it being filtered from mainstream. So, it's nice that you can find unique individuals that play into who you are. And that's why I think it's important that we share our stories. Everyone's different, so, everyone might not be comfortable. For me, it wasn't just about helping people. That was the main thing for me because I don't want to see anybody struggle. That's something that I've always, that's always bothered me. I don't like to see people sad or hurting. So I enjoy reaching out to people. It makes me feel good about myself. It also makes me feel good because I don't want people to be alone. But at the end of the day, what I didn't realize it was going to do for me is change my life for the better, because I learned so much about myself, and you guys have given me confidence to be a stronger person when I was always a weak person. There was times throughout this whole journey over the last few years when I started YouTube where I kind of changed and it made me unhappy. I tried to be somebody I'm not because I thought that's what people wanted. I was always an introvert and I was trying to change that, but you can't fully change who you are. You could challenge yourself and try new things. But, as far as my personal life, I don't think I'll ever be not a quiet person. That's just how I am. But now I at least push myself a little bit outside the box and try new things to see, what I do enjoy. And in the process of doing YouTube and streaming, I've becoming a more outspoken person that share my emotions more. Learn to talk in front of a camera and connect to people. I know it's different. I'm speaking to a camera, so it's different when it comes to the real world where, you're talking directly to somebody. But when you learn to process your emotions and share with people, you can use it the same way to convey what you want to say. So I'm grateful for this because I've learned a lot. And that's kind of, too, something I used at the beginning of, this whole change for me is I wanted to challenge myself and do something I struggled with before. And I think that's what's important for all of us to change our views, is try things that we not comfortable with sometimes, and try things that are outside of our comfort zone. So for me, it wasn't really, medication really, that didn't really help me. So going off of it actually helped me a lot, and for those people that do go off of it, just know that, you don't want to just go directly off of it. You want to take small steps to slowly go off of it. It's extremely important that you take that seriously, because mental health is a very serious thing. And when you're on medication, it can make you feel certain ways. So just be very careful with that. I don't want anything to ever happen to anybody. One of the most misconceptions in this world is we all struggle with mental health. It's not something that's specific to a group or to a group of people in general. We all have issues in our life that we struggle with mentally that makes it hard to find happiness and to get through the things that we're struggling with in this world. You're not alone with that. And don't let people make you feel that way. With me being who I am and going through this whole transition, people always want to call people like me insane and like mental issues. And I can assure you, maybe before, when I was uncomfortable with who I was, I struggled with things mentally more because I was unhappy and I didn't know how to process my emotions because I didn't appreciate who I was. But now it's different. Now I can actually feel myself and the love I have inside. So now it's different for me. People just don't understand. They can't process the same emotions, so they automatically think that what you are is something bad and negative. All I'm trying to do is be myself and live a good life of being kind to people. Don't let people manipulate you to thinking somebody's bad when they don't even know those people. Don't think that way about yourself. And that's something that hurt me a lot, because at a young age, I thought so negatively about myself, and I didn't have anybody to talk to about that. So I didn't have anybody to share my emotions to help me be more confident with myself, of who I was. And it led me to a very inconsistent life of not being happy. I'm more motivated now than I've ever been. I have visions of what I want to do, and I've been extremely motivated with that. I've been doing really good with streaming. I think I'm almost up to 19,000 followers. I've almost been doing it for 5 years. So, I've worked hard at it. I haven't taken any shortcuts. I've tried to do everything the right way. There's people that obviously have way more success than me, but for me, I never really got into streaming because I thought I was going to be get to where I am today. Now I think about it, when I first started, it was an experiment, and here I am now still doing it. Because I tried something new that I didn't know if I was going to be good at. And guess what? I enjoyed it. And it's changed not only my view of the world, but my life in general, because I have more positivity for myself. I can tell you this, with the whole medication thing, if I didn't have streaming, I don't think the whole getting off of it and just trying to have a positive view would have been the same, because I wouldn't have that, that confidence because of your guys' kind messages and support through the years. So I'm grateful for that. That's why it's so important that we connect each other and be kind, because we can change each other's lives by just being positive to each other. And that's what it's about. A lot of people want to be negative and say that, people that go through the whole changing and transition thing, the reason why they're suicidal and depressed all the time is because they're confused in the mind, and that's actually extremely false. People want to deny the fact that they're treated poorly, and that's what leads to, depression and negative thoughts towards yourself. Same reason why when people get bullied at school, it leads to that. It's no different. People they just want to make up things because they can't understand. So don't let people manipulate you into thinking something negative. I been talking to my brother about trying to do some more videos. I have a camera where I can actually vlog outside the house. We'll see what happens with that. It's not a great one, so I don't know how that's all going to work out, but I do want to share more. I've talked about that with you guys a lot, where I wanted to explore more and show different sides of the things I go through, my personality. So hopefully I can do that. And just know that you're not alone in this world. I know it's a difficult place. There's a lot of negativity out there with social media and the media. They always want to bring out the worst of each other, and they want to manipulate us to think negatively about each other, because they know that's what's going to sell. That's what's going to create conversations and what's going to divide everyone. You got to push past that. Be a strong person. That's what people look up to, and that's what inspires a better world for everyone. And so believe in yourself, believe in your ability to change the things in your life for the better, and keep fighting for that. Because I believe that we all can change things and we all can create our own happiness within our lives. I love you guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. It helps me out. If you want to know more about my life, subscribe. I will see you guys on the next video.